Together Generations. This is episode 16.
16.
And today we're doing a semi-homemade, quick and easy episode with you, showing you how to spruce up some of your condensed soups or soups that you've got in the pantry. If you're kind of just wanting to do something quick for dinner but don't know what to do, just open up your pantry, pull out some soup, and we're going to show you how to make it a little more fun and exciting than just chicken noodle soup with broth and noodles.
Okay.
Which is not bad, but we're going to make it better.
Okay. We're going to make it better. That's right. We're going to make it better.
I have the assignment of the chicken noodle soup. So I've already got my chicken noodle soup heated up here. And I do need a knife. Most of your canned soups are too salty.
Nope. There we go.
There we go. Most of your canned soups are too salty, so you can put in a little vinegar, works, or in this case I'm going to use a little lime juice. So this acid helps calm some of that salt out. Okay. I've got some leftover chicken here. You can see it's just a leftover chicken breast. You know, you always look at the chicken noodle soup and you always search for that piece of chicken that's in there someplace. Well, if you do it like this, you're going to be able to find your chicken.
That one chunk of chicken.
Not one little piece of chicken. We're going to stir that around, and the chicken is warm. I warmed it up a little bit so we could go a little quicker here. Don't need any salt, but I do like a little pepper in my soup, so I'll throw a little pepper in there.
Honestly, if you don't have anything else in your kitchen except for the soup, if you add pepper to it, you've already taken it to another level.
And the vinegar or a piece of lime or whatever. Olive oil will do it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to plate mine up. There you can see, look at that nice chicken in there. Good, look at that. Somebody want to take that? And I'm going to garnish it with a little chives.
That looks good.
And on my plate here, I have a couple biscuits. And then just to jazz it up a little more, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a cheese log and a green onion, and a cheese log, and a green onion, and a cheese log, and a green onion, and another cheese log. And there we are. We just took a can of chicken noodle soup and elevated it to gourmet soup, just like that.
That's pretty easy. So Amanda, what you got for us?
I am sprucing up some condensed tomato soup. So in our pot, usually your can calls for 1 can of soup to 1 can of liquid. So I've got half the can of water and half a can of some cream, which we get from our local grocery store here in town. It's Crystal Springs Creamery, correct?
Crystal Valley.
No, it's Crystal Springs.
Springs.
Hey, I had it right. I had it right.
Crystal something or other.
And their cream is delicious, and it's like, I mean, to me, it's old-timey, where you go back and you take your empty bottles back and you get them refilled. You know, they don't do that anymore. So I think that's kind of cool. I think it's charming.
I'll take that.
So I've got that in my pot here heating up, and I'm going to add some fresh basil in here. Get that stirred around. Just kick it up a little, and you could just stop here. Stop with the basil, do a little salt and pepper, which I am going to do. I always forget my salt and pepper, and I didn't today. I'm proud of myself. A little salt and pepper. Stir that around. And then next, I have got some artichoke hearts here, and I'm going to pour in some of this liquid with it. I always think that tomato soup is just a little too chunky and creamy, and I like mine a little more like tomato basil. We're going to put a few of those hearts in here. And this also has some oil in it, so that's going to, and some seasoning, so that's going to give it even more flavor. We're going to put those artichoke hearts in there. Stir that around. And normally I'd let these heat up for a little bit, but for the sake of time, we're going to go over and show you how to plate this. But you do want to let those artichoke hearts heat through and get your soup heated through before you plate. So I'm going to bring this over here, show you what I'm going to do.
Just like a plate.
I would love a plate.
How about that? There you
All
go.
right, so I'm gonna pour my soup in here very carefully. Be careful not to dump your artichoke hearts in here and splatter hot liquid up in your face. That would not be a good day. All right, a little more soup in there. And next, I'm going to take some roasted pepper that we've got here. I'm going to set those on top very carefully. And just a little thing of basil. Oh, get in there, come on. And there you go. Got yourself some nice tomato soup. And I am going to garnish with some big old pretzels. And dip in your soup. And some celery that we've got some vegetable dip in. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? You know, I'll just throw the rest in here. These in here. For good measure.
That
there
looks
you
good
go.
enough to eat.
It does look good enough to eat. That looks delicious.
Not your old Campbell's tomato soup anymore.
No, it's not. We'll put that up there for we've got ghost guests this evening. It's Halloween, so, you know, Halloween time.
All right.
What you got, Dad?
I am gonna make some minestrone soup, and I like the Progresso soup. It's got a lot of vegetables. You don't have to add any water to it at all, so you can just add that to your pot. Now I got a little bit here getting hot, but I'm gonna get this all dumped in. And I like minestrone because it's very, very hearty. It's got noodles, beans, and carrots, and peas, and all kinds of good stuff. Good Italian soup. So we're gonna get that in. We're gonna stir that up. We'll bring the heat up just a little bit. And to jazz this up, we went to the grocery store and they make pre-packaged soup mixes, soup herbs. And this is just rosemary, thyme, basil, and oregano. And I chopped it up fine. And I'm just going to add that to it because I think the soups that when they come from the grocery stores, some of the gourmet soups try to have that in there. And there's just not enough of it. You get that little hint of flavor. So I'm going to stir that in. And then I thought, you know, I like a little bit of meat with my my soup. So I made some spaghetti and meatballs the other day, and I got some leftover meatballs, believe it or not. So I'm going to put leftover meatballs in the minestrone soup just to give it a little bit of meaty goodness. And again, I just warmed these up from the other day, and to get them in there, I'm going to get them well coated up. Oh yeah, that's looking really good. And so those are already preheated. Soup's already brought to a boil. So now we're going to bring this over and we're going to plate our minestrone. So I got my bowl over here. I'm going to get my plate up. Oh yeah. Need a little ladle because I got some meatballs in there, so I'm not going to just dump it in like everybody else did.
I probably should have used the ladle, but
You know.
I managed.
So get that in there. Get some of this goodness in there. And you can see the beans in there and all that. Oh yeah. Got a nice meatball on top. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of shredded Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to sprinkle that over the top.
Oh yeah.
To give it a nice look. Right there. I reserve just a pinch of my fresh herbs. And there you have my minestrone soup. Now, everybody's been doing some garnish, so I made up a little garlic toast, little garlic bread toast. Okay, down the side there. And I like a little bit of spice with mine, so I'm going to add some pepperoncinis to the plate. And there you have it. A little garlic toast, a little pepperoncini, a little minestrone soup with meatballs. Pretty simple, pretty easy. And that didn't take all but about 3 minutes. Oh, cameraman hand. Oh, he's getting the meatball. Going for the meatball.
Really went in there, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
It is not a pretty sight behind that camera.
Cameraman approved.
Okay.
There we go. I'm going to put that up there.
Mm-hmm.
And our ghost dinners are set. Hold on, I gotta turn that just a little bit. Ghost dinners are set. There's the minestrone. We got a chicken noodle with biscuits and cheese. And we got the tomato basil cream with pretzels and celery sticks. And man, what a meal. And we serve 3 different kinds of soup. You know, for those people in your house that don't necessarily like the same kind of soup. Again, a can of soup isn't that expensive and it makes a whole meal, so.
Real easy to make.
I'll tell you what, this is probably a good dish for the kids. They're going to love the pretzels. They might not like the hot pepperoncinis, but they're going to love the cheese sticks. You know, they're going to love the celery, and it's a good way to get them to eat a little better. So the herbs and that kind of thing. The neat thing about this is, and look in your pantry, you have things besides the soup in your pantry to use. As I mentioned, a little vinegar will help cut back on the salt in the soup.
Yep.
Lime juice will do the same thing. Put olive oil in it. You can put your herbs like Brock did. You could have used pesto.
Yeah.
I got some in my fridge.
Fresh spinach. He did use some Parmesan. You could toasted bread on top. Or your meats. Just any leftover meat. You got pork. You got chicken. You got beef. You know, pick a soup and put with it. Some croutons.
Yep.
Either flavored
Easy.
or plain.
Easy.
Real easy.
Yogurt. Dollop of yogurt.
Dollop of
Anything
yogurt.
else?
Yep.
Or sour cream.
Roasted garlic, bacon. You know, we didn't talk about bacon. Hot sauces. See, I like the hot sauces, so you
Yeah.
could add some hot sauces. Depending on the soup, you could use some dried fruits or some red wine or some white wine if the kiddies aren't home and you want to jazz up your soup a little bit. So you've got a lot of other stuff that you can use. An egg.
Yes, I was going to say my personal favorite is the egg.
Fried or hard boiled?
I like to poach mine in the soup.
Oh yeah, there you
Yeah, yep.
And I do that with my like ramen noodles too. I'll poach an egg in it and throw most of the stuff on this list into there, but that's not really a condensed soup. But it's we'll count it, right?
What I like to do,
Soup.
I like to take a piece of bacon, chop it up, throw a little onion in the pot, and kind of brown it up, and then dump my cream of potato soup in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it
Add some
jazzes
cheese
that
on
up, you know.
top,
So.
yeah.
Now, we did last week, we did pumpkins. I'm reaching in to grab my glass here. But last week we had the pumpkin that I cleaned out. Roasted pumpkin seeds in like a squash or a pumpkin soup is
Yeah.
awesome. So,
And all this you can find in cans on your grocery store shelves.
Or in your pantry, you probably
Yeah,
already have
and
some.
already in your pantry. So
Most of this stuff was in my pantry.
real easy,
Yep.
real
Okay,
easy tonight.
so
super.
another one they can't. The cookbook, I just pledged to sell 500 by Christmas, so I need a lot of help, folks, for
And
the
our-
Susan G. Komen Foundation.
And our online store is going to be up really, really soon. So be looking out for the website to see there. There'll be a lot of neat Christmas gifts, aprons, chef's hats, jackets, hats. So we'll
And
be
a
really
partridge
in
in
a
a
pear tree. Yeah.
Make sure to
Thanks for
subscribe,
joining us.
click like, and follow us on Instagram. We appreciate all your support.
Cheers.
Enjoy your soup.
Yep.